This is Kat Meir from Bitten Apple TV here at Urban Action Showcase Expo. And oh my God, is that Journey Through the Northern Wind with Edmund Paul? Oh my God, that was, I know, I'm a little corny, I know. I'm here with the artist Sketch. You wanna explain the name Sketch?
Yeah.
And was it sketchy when you met him? There's so many questions I have.
It was Sketchatron, yeah.
A lot of things related to Sketch, but I got the name when I was a kid, like 6. It started out as Etch-a-Sketch, and then as I got older, it just was Sketch. So I've been drawing since I was a kid.
So, but what's your real name though?
My real name is Shamel.
Didn't see that coming. I will admit, I was like, Sketch, that sounds like an awesome brand name. I love that. Now, Journey Through the Northern Wind, tell me about it.
Well, Journey Through the Northern Wind is a children's book series based on my daughters. They play as characters in this children's book series. Sad that they're not here today, but at the next event they will be here, and it's based on 2 daughters of mine, and they go out on a journey searching for their father.
What kind of mischief do they get into? Because now I'm just curious, because kids are the greatest inspirations for everything.
Well, this particular book here is educational, so at the end of the book is lessons you have learned from the book, which I don't want to let you know everything now, but
It's okay, tell me what you can.
it's based on, like, they go through a dark forest, they come across creatures, ghouls, goblins, and more. And you got the little mushroom friends that's on my hat. They help the kids on their journey, like the minions, but they're mushrooms.
I love that. Now, in regards to, like, as an artist, I can draw really good stick figures. Those are self-portraits, and I'm really good at that. Drawing, like, a graphic novel and then drawing a children's book it's not the same kind of style, and you have to make sure that you bring it to life enough that kids are drawn to it as well as adults, and then it doesn't cross the line. So for you, with your history in art, how did you,
I have a daughter too, and I have a lot of nieces and nephews, but the biggest thing is making everything clear and relatable and tone down the depression. Like, don't make everything so dark and ominous. It has to be kind of like straightforward and dangerous, but not like unhealthy danger. More like, oh, if I just turn left, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for kids, you don't want to make everything so disastrous. We don't, like, in the book, we never use the words weapons. We just call them magical items. It's important that kids understand life is more about being defensive and protection of yourself and your family versus attacking others and going after others. Like, it's more important to just protect yourself, but still kind of be open to listen to your elders. But not every elder is for you. So, just be mindful and be defensive still. So that's kind of one of the key lessons that we try to hone in on, like all the stuff we learned when we were kids. It's different now. I was born in the 80s, but it's different now. And so we're trying to bring back more of the community raising and kids understanding where they come from. So artistically, I approach it kind of like when I was a kid, when I thought everything was just simple and fantastic. Money grew on trees, and if you ate a seed, you'd have a whole fruit bush in your stomach and you'd never be hungry. Like, that's the approach. Like,
learned your lessons from Mikey, right?
yeah, pretty much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just want everything to seem magical, but not too over the top. You know what I mean? So that's the artistic approach I take. I'm a graphic artist, and a fantasy artist, so doing fantasy is easy for me, and then toning it down is just literally, if I sit in his house for like 5 minutes, there's so much going on with the kids. Like, they just randomly start dancing and singing, so you can take a lot of that energy, and I just use that to draw, and it's a lot easier that way than trying to figure out. And then he does the panels too. Him and my brother do the panel designs, so it's easy for me to take that and then take live images and just kind of draw the energy from it, and then that's how I create.
I was not prepared for the answer, but I'm glad you actually explained it to me, because I have graphic novels and then I have my kid books, and I'm like, I know I bought the kid books. I don't know why I bought them, but I'm still gonna read them. But I've never understood, like, I guess the artist's perception of how you would actually change it from like adult to kid and still yet be appeasing to both sides. Because the adult still has to approve to buy it as soon as I give my niece her stuff after I'm done reading it. What I wanted to ask you was, how did you come up with this idea?
Well, it was my kids. It was my kids. I was always a good writer. But with the story, my kids, I asked them what they want to be, and they said they wanted to be fairies. I asked them if they wanted like an animal, like a pet or some psychic of somewhat, whatever they want. And I just told my Sketchatron, a.k.a. Shamel Reed, and he just brought it to life. Also his brother, he's a panel designer, Steven Severs. He's not here today, but he had a whole big part of this project.
Okay, so what I want to ask you is, I guess, what sort of like antagonists do they come across in the story? Because every protagonist, you got someone you got to go up against. So what do you have lined up for them that they have to, like, I guess, journey through?
All right, so actually, it starts off with two sisters. They go out on this journey. They never come back. So now the mom had to go send the other two daughters. I have a family of 6. So I don't want to break the story on you and tell you like the whole thing, but they come across, in the first book, they come across a little girl that was crying. This little girl name was Forrest. Should I tell her?
Well, you know, it's okay because it's a teaser. So the main antagonist is a witch through the whole story, but she has like other things she uses to manipulate the situation. So it's one of those situations where, like I said, the children have to be mindful, but there's other like nuances in there, like kind of like simple stuff like don't take food from strangers and things like that. So their first main antagonist they come across is a witch, and it happens to be a little girl. They have to find out how it works out, though. Like how she gets out of the situation, how she even gets into it is crazy. Like I'm a grown man. I'm like 37 years old, and I enjoy the stories that he writes because these are all the stuff that I went through as a kid, and even as adults. We have to be careful with the people we let into our relationships.
Yeah.
So these are things that our parents try to tell us when we're little, but we know everything because we're little. And you know, you're grown on the inside, you got it all down. And then as you grow older, you learn that we're given a family, but you also make your own. But you have to be careful who you allow into your family. And so that's like the core part of it when it starts, and then it snowballs into all these other adventures, and every kid has their own attitude. So I have 2 favorite characters. The first one is funny because it's his eldest daughter, who when she was asked for her power, she said, I just want to make everything pretty, and she wanted a butterfly. And I laughed hard because I'm like, okay, so how are we going to turn that into a superpower? Dude, I don't even... And he came up with a way to turn it into an actual power. And then my favorite is, because I'm a fantasy artist, is one of the younger daughters who's like hot-tempered and she's real quick. So she's like the warrior of the series, who's like takes no crap from anyone and is always quick to draw her sword. But she's still a child, and she still has those moments where she grabs onto stuff, and if you mess with it, especially if she makes you a part of her family, she'll fight until the end to defend it. And that's how she is in real life.
She's a warrior and a paladin rolled into one. So you gotta just have a white mage with the butterflies. The other one's a paladin.
Pretty much. And then he has 2 younger sons, and his youngest son, I would call him hyper intelligent. He's like, how old now?
He's 3.
He's 3.
Yeah.
When I say the kid is hyper intelligent, like his goal is to go to the stars. He wants to be an astronaut. He's 3. He can read.
Oh, honey, you can do it. Go for it.
Yeah, exactly. So when we created the characters, we made it so that when you read it, you can kind of identify with them. Even children, you can identify with who they are, how they function. Now, one of the cool things that he came up with a while ago was, if anyone wants to be a part of the book, anybody, they actually can. You can submit to the Facebook or anything like that, and then you submit your character, whether you want to be a hero or villain, and he'll actually write you into the story. And you get to design your character, and I will do the design. I will send the email back to you so you can see it and get kind of a preview. And then when the story comes out, you'll be notified, and you can get it from there.
Are y'all listening? Y'all could be in a book.
And that's coming from him and his children. Like, when I say they're open, and one of the things that struck me, which was kind of different, was that he raised his kids to not only like be mindful, but also accept others for who they are. So the idea is, no matter who you are, what walk of life you're in, the achievement is always there for you. Just be open to the idea. So that's where the idea of adding people in the community and just anybody who comes across it, they can always be a part of it no matter who they are.
I have to say, I adore this, and I love the fact that people can contact you and like, hey, can I be in your book? And that's pretty wicked and awesome. For those who are like, obviously, I'm going to be one of those submissions. Where can people come find your book? Where can because that artwork is like, it's super cute and I really love it. You're doing a great job. Where can people come find you guys?
It's available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Walmart. Our online store is at www.northernwindproductions.com. And anything else that's coming out, you could go right to our website. Instagram, NorthernWind95, NorthernWind82, Facebook, Edmund Paul.
And as far as art submissions go, you can hit up Sketchman 5000. So it's literally SKETCHMAN 5000. And you can DM me and send me images, and because we're part of the same company. So if you send me something, I will forward it to the writer and he will write it in. And so we do this on a regular basis.
I just want you to know, when you said Sketchman 5000, I pictured a factory of like different ones, and I'm like, oh, we have the upgrade, the ultimate upgrade. Like,
pretty much. But he's the one that actually got me into illustrating this book. I had created like a bunch of horror short stories that's geared more toward adults, and I've been tattooing since I was like.
Okay, so you were terrorizing kids. He was trying to provide.
Help them. So then he like, I kid you not. I was showing him like one of the stories I wrote, and then the kids were running around. He literally like, we were at his mom's house, me, him, and my brother, and he was picking up his kids, and it was probably like, it was late at night. It was probably like after 10, and I was showing him like some of the artwork I had and the stories that I wrote, and he was like, oh, I kind of got some stuff. You want to see it? He went to the back, came out 15 minutes later and was like, yo, you want to illustrate it? I was like, sure, why not? I thought it was like just for fun, like for his kids. And then like the next time I went to visit him, they were so stoked. And then he presented me with all this paperwork. He was like, bro, we got a company now. I made a company for children. I mean, for us to make books for kids, because my kids love it. And that's literally how it snowballed. And any kid who's ever read it, they love it. Like, you watch them light up. I have kids stop at the table and they look at the books, and like, I'm like, all right, we got to put the discount on because they want the book. And I can see the look on the parent like, I'm not a tree with money, but you know, we get it. So it's drawing and creating this is a lot of fun. So I invite people to my page, even if you don't want to be a part of the book and you just want a character, just do something fun, just visit. Why not?
Make sure you guys check them out. I really love the fact that you guys have like real stories in there for kids to like really learn from, because there's a lot of stuff like as a kid you just didn't know about when you know your mom and dad were like, don't talk to strangers. You understood, but you didn't quite understand, and it's just mostly because yes, not every adult's out there to do something to you, but you do have to understand that not all of them are going to be your friend. And same thing for people who your age. You have plenty of people who'll be like, hey buddy, but they're not really for you. So I think it's a really beautiful way that you're introducing it to the kids. And then of course through like, to me this is like an RPG, so that's what's going through my head. You got a warrior and a mage. I'm just excited to see what else is going on.
There's like a feral character. She's like a fairy feline, like a furry. There's also like a Rasta style character. There's golems, there's mud creatures.
Oh my god, awesome. I'm so excited for this book.
Old wise tree. The mother is like almost like a fallen angel who like didn't fall in a bad way, but kind of like had to be saved and went somewhere else. So that's even like her power as a fairy creature is immense. So it's like, it's very well put together. The father is a fairy creature himself, but on another level. Like, I don't even want to tell you what it is. So you have to read the book to find out what his fairy power is, and so forth and so on.
So I just want to tell you, This is the best partnership I've ever seen. I have done a lot of interviews, but he's the most passionate person speaking about your work. So you guys are a phenomenal team. Look, he's about to get teary-eyed. Make sure you guys check them out. They're putting together some amazing stuff. Find out what the father powers are. See what happened with the mom. What's her real backstory, and follow the journey. Follow the journey with the kids.
Shooting stars. It was actually 2 shooting stars. One was her sister. She landed on one side, which is the little girl named Forrest in a book.
Oh.
So this is like
You touched up on so many things. Oh my God.
So we toned it down. Like, this was really, really spooky when I first drew it. And he like told me like, bro, you gotta tone it down.
Stop with the horror stuff, man.
So I toned it down a lot, but this is like the first book, and then this is the furry that I told you about, and her pet animal. I don't know if guys can see that. So she's got like a caterfly. It's like a fairy cat with butterfly wings.
That sounds like my cat. That's exactly what that sounds like.
The cat's name is Blue, and it's really awesome. So each person has a companion. This is the one that likes to make everything pretty, and if you can see that. So, and they get like set on by all these different creatures. So it's pretty dope. Yeah.
You guys gotta make sure you check out Journey Through the Northern Wind. This is amazing. Sign up and submit your character, because now I'm gonna look for my characters that I might be submitting.
Right away. Submit today.
Immediately.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
Intro.
Nah, it's gonna be an outro. Intro, we're gonna do something else.
Outro.
We love him. Leslie and I are here from Bitten Apple TV here at the Urban Action Showcase Expo. We have been having a full blast. Appletini, my love, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I mean, this is the 20th year anniversary of Blade, starring Wesley Snipes. I mean, who wouldn't feel fantastic about that?
We also have the 45th anniversary for Enter the Dragon. There's so much happening here.
Yes.
Award shows, we got cosplayers, we have all kinds of stuff just happening here on the set. There's virtual reality even happening here.
Yeah, and actually there are people here that are like true historians of any of this genre, be it action with superheroes of color, martial arts. It is a phenom. It really is. I can't thank Mr. Demetrius Angelo for putting something like this together. This is fantastic. I'm speechless, actually.
It's absolutely an amazing event. You guys have to make sure you guys check it out. Check out all of our interviews and make sure you click that button down to subscribe. Oh, I'm sorry, the intern's doing something. Yes, Wolfie.
Just listening to Mike.
Oh. Oh, 6 gems. We have so many jokes for you, my love. Don't eat any fish eggs. Bye.
Video coming soon.